Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So, we are in Nenio's companion quest. We're in an abyssal plane and it's full of puzzles. And we're about to go further into the pyramid to look for blue stones to power doors. And that's our plan for today. Blue stones, door powering, puzzle solving. That's basically it. This, however, does not look like the path to puzzles. This looks like, you know, something that's going to have a large door at the end that we have to open. And if we haven't opened it, then we're screwed. Oh, no, it's a corridor with traps in it. Ooh, okay. Well,
this is my kind of work.
That was kind of, okay. We do see a lot of waves of exhaustion going off. Hopefully not towards us. Hello. This should be fine, I think. Shoot him. We will do all of our buffs. Charge. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies. Anyone we can charge? Yup. Can you charge here? Perfect. That's a lot of damage. He can't do 2 attacks, so we're just gonna shoot.
You won't survive me.
Like, even if we gave him the extra attacks, he wouldn't be able to do them. Chain lightning. That was pretty good. I think I don't want to use weird against these guys. One, because they might actually be immune. Let me just check. They are immune to weird. Okay, so that's one reason for not using it. The other reason I didn't want to use it anyway was because I don't think these guys are that strong. And I really want to keep some of my spell slots till later, because I don't want to rest during this area. That's okay. Charge? Wait, did we get to charge there? His range is so large that he can charge while standing still. Okay, I have a greater respect for Sociel now. We have to walk forward to shoot, but that's fine. We'll move Nenio in behind and just end her turn there. Right. They keep trying to apply phantasmal putrefaction to us, but we are immune to that, so yeah, we'll just ignore it. Attack. Charge. Charge. Very good. He gets extra attacks now, so we can use them. That works. Move forward. Shadow Demon goes off. Shows me another enemy I missed. They all use phantasmal putrefaction on the Shadow Demon because it's the only thing that they can actually use it on. Okay, very funny. Is that a blue orb we can get? Ooh, nice. Good damage. Charge. Yeah, you're gonna move forward just so that we can shoot in future. That one is dead. You know what? Attack. There we go. That's fine. Not really that worried about that. Shoot. Hey, nice crit. Attack. Can't charge this one.
Distract them for me.
You can charge though. And shoot.
Make every strike count.
Very nice. What did that do? That then caused this guy to glow with runes? Oh, hello. Is he summoning things to fight? Oh, okay.
We cannot be defeated.
This is fine. I'm really not that bothered if you summon more of these guys. They're not tough to kill. Attack. Was right to save spell slots, but yeah, these guys aren't tough to kill.
Now,
Charge.
what am I missing?
Okay. Do you have a spell here that makes sense? Maybe Burning Arc? Yeah, that was okay. Wasn't like amazing, but that's fine. Shadow Demon's running in with no wisdom because his wisdom stat's been destroyed. Heal mass. Yeah, that'll work.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna grab another one of these rocks. Grab This? You're continuing to summon? I mean, I'm okay if you want to continue to summon on this spot. Like, it really doesn't bother me at all. What does bother me is having to reapply my buffs each time, but, you know. I think we're fine. Attack.
Time to share your treasures.
Or don't. There we go.
Survive me.
Blast them. Cool. Attack. Charge him. Attack. Shadow Demon got the kill. Oh, there's still one over here. Okay, we did it. I'm just gonna run at the enemy now. Do a little quick save as well. So you think he's over this way? Oh, hello.
Get another obstacle.
This is fine. Redo our buffs. Charge. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Oh, you got some sphinxes back here. Okay. Cool. Weird. One sphinx down, one Lilitu down. Or some of the other sphinxes still live. Shadow Demon is somewhere. Oh, there are enemies here as well. Okay. Charge. Nice damage. Whatever that thing is out. What was that thing that just skipped its turn? The Sphinx. Okay. That must be because of something that... Yeah, that must have been because of Nenio's weird. Shoot.
I will see your demise.
We could have used a heal to, I guess, to do damage to the mummies. Charge. Just wanted him to actually hit that one, so we had somebody hitting it.
Endure this.
Nice damage. 200 damage on a crit is very good. Attack.
Strike with all your might.
Think you're okay to just sit there. Shadow Demon getting those two over there on the right. Yeah, you do the same kind of slice attack back. There we go. Rifts of Ruin. I hate rifts, but like we succeeded on our will saving throw, so I think we're fine. They're also not bugged as they used to be. Hit them. There we go. That's fine. I couldn't cast it directly on them, but that's okay. Attack.
Be gone, fiend.
Shoot.
Make every strike count.
That's pretty good. Charge. Attack.
Should have listened to reason.
Oh, Shadow Demon? Just, they needed a second. We got more... Oh, these guys? Oh, I guess another wave spawned from up the hill, maybe? Yeah, attack. Shoot.
You've crossed the wrong monster.
This is fine. This is still fine.
Fall.
Charge. And attack. Shadow Demon heads up.
Stab you or zap you?
Yeah,
Why
you
not
can
both?
run over, I guess, in case we need you. Probably won't. Shoot. And shoot.
You won't survive me.
Right.
Onwards.
This way. Keep charging. Quick save. This is not the route up that I want to go. What's this say? I'm the unity that reigns between life and death. Okay.
Let us be off.
Let's go this way. I think that thing is stuck in the rift currently. We'll grab our loot on the way out.
To battle, my
I know,
friends.
a phrase you thought you'd never hear. Right. Reapply every buff. I reapplied the wrong buff this time because I pressed the wrong button.
I can't
That's
catch
fine.
you like that.
These are only, like, you know, trash tier enemies.
You're
Kind of
irrelevant.
think I'm just gonna walk in a melee attack. Can't charge, so just like
Distract
walk
them
in
from
here
me.
and be nearby. Yep. You can charge. Nice damage. We have some more mummies around the place. Shoot that one. Nice. Heal. Good. Or around the place, running in. None of them are able to hit us because they apparently rely entirely upon phantasmal putrefaction, which we're immune
We
to.
can do it.
Okay, attack.
I'll remove this obstacle.
Actually doesn't even do that. Like, the damage that she does isn't even that bad. Charge. Attack.
I will bring down the divine wrath.
Shoot. Oh, more over here. Shoot. Are there more? What's this other one? Oh, all the way up there. I see. Charge. Attack.
Should have listened to reason.
Charge. Charge. Walk up here. You know what? Just take a shot.
Make every strike count.
Okay, fair enough. Walk up here. Take a shot.
Make short work of this.
That's fine. Yeah. Attack. Attack.
You're irrelevant. I'll dissect your
Nice
cadaver.
crit.
Time to share your treasures.
Kill.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you.
And kill.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
And
Out
kill.
of my sight.
Nice. Quick save. Grab all. Up the hill. Just keep charging
Did we
on.
find trouble? They did.
Okay. You're too far away to charge. That's fine. Reapply our buffs. There we go. Applied the correct ones this time. Charge. Attack. Might actually figure out how to put charge on her bar again. Just because it's actually starting to become relevant. Oh, they just spawned on the same spot. Okay, I guess you weren't meant to fight them like that. These were meant to like run down the hill at you. Okay. That's fine. Keep running. Barely even feel the need to quick save after that one. Oh yeah, let's just walk over at them. Why would I not do that? Yeah. Are we meant to be afraid? What's happening here?
What's that?
We can loot this one. Loot that. You become very unhappy at us. Who are we fighting? Ancient sorcerer mummy. Okay. Like, just gonna be real with you. Oh, wait a second. One of our abilities has fallen off the bar. I must have dragged it off. There we go. I would have never used that again. Right.
We won't falter.
There we go. Oh, he's undead, so I guess that's why we missed. Or, no, we just missed normally. Oh. Okay. Reapplying buffs to himself? That's a first, I think, for enemies. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Mark him. Shoot him.
Endure this.
Okay, we've got low to hits on him. Icy Prison. You succeeded on the reflex saving throw, but will still take cold damage per turn. Reapply some of our buffs, then attack him.
Strike with all your might.
The destructive dispels are very nice. I'll hit him with a heal. Nice. Reapplies displacement. Waves of exhaustion. We're immune to fatigue for some people. Some people are not. That's fine. Attack.
Fiend.
Shoot.
Make every strike count.
He's dead. Okay.
I'll make my own legend.
I think we can just use restoration here. Just wait. Wait, did that not remove the fatigue? Wait, that did dispel fatigue, but we're still sickened. Wait, we surely are able to move, right? Oh, we're all fatigued. Okay, okay. I need to remove it from everybody because... Okay, yeah. It's because our maximum strength is now too low. There we go. Now we're good. Although we did just stun a party member. Where are we? Maybe I should get Darren to do it.
The world's not
just so I don't
just
start
yet.
stunning all of our party members. Yeah, let's get rid of your one. Now that he can move, you know? Yeah, do it again. That's fine. You don't need it done because you were immune. There we go. One to you. We'll be there in a second. Then another one. Right, and then two more in Nenio. This is fine. Wasn't actually too bad, that. And now only lightly encumbered. And then should be fine. Right. Let's have a look. Anyone got negative stats? Nope. Well, I mean, you've got negative stats due to being large, and you've got negative stats due to being small. Apart from that, we're okay. Grab the loot. Grab this. And what have we got? I'm the source and the universe, the undivided absolute. Okay. Newest to oldest. We get anything good there? Braces of armor. Agile fists. That'll be a no then. Do we get anything good? Right. Anything else in here now that we've... well, I guess we could head down and get the loot that we missed earlier. Yeah, let's do that. And actually properly loot this place and grab, like, every tiny bit of loot that's available. Because we didn't get any of this before.
This is my kind of work.
Grab that. That's another blue crystal. So now we have 4. Which I think is the number that we need in total. That doesn't seem right. Unless, like, some of the stuff that we... it could be that some of the stuff upstairs is puzzles that you don't have to solve. And then, like, the stuff down here are puzzles that you... like, they're just giving you, like, the stuff you need to advance the companion quest. Although, given the whole companion quest is based off of puzzles throughout the game, you know, it seems unlikely. Quick save. Now go to the main halls again. So I'm assuming we're behind one of the doors that was previously locked. Yeah. Pretty much.
Pretty good, aren't I?
That's fine. What's this say? Demon has left deep claw marks across the surface. There was an inscription here, but it's been completely obliterated. Ooh. Okay. We can activate that by putting something in here and pressing it. Wherever that is. Let's have a look in this direction. Why are we moving so slowly? We're heavily encumbered by picking up one thing? Okay. We still have bear's strength on us? Or, sorry, bull strength? We do. We just happen to be slightly over our encumbrance limit. You know, an easy way to do this is to put this in the correct order and then just go through here, go and copy. 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 A little bit more copy. We're now down to medium. Then we go to Woolgif and we go copy weird. Copy that one. Copy that one. It's not getting a lot of weight off, but it is something we needed to do anyway, and it got us just enough to move for just now, which is all we really need. There we go. Cool. Right, so now we move at normal speed. So that's one of the spinning things that puts waves of exhaustion on you. There's a trap here which we can disable by putting, I'm assuming, by putting something in here and pressing the button, or by following this. What happens if we do this? And then, like, press that. Opens that door. Okay, and that door leads back to the... Okay, that's fine. I got it. Right, so grab this.
Something wrong.
Grab Woolgif. Quick save. Now, I'm assuming that there are mummies in here that would attack us if I didn't do this. No, let's just do it unstealthed. Need to run quickly.
You sure it's safe?
I want to grab that. How do we get in there? Right, let's disable the trap first. Wait for it. Then head this way round. Okay, so trap's disabled. So now we can get back in here.
I refuse to accept their statement.
What are we fighting? Oh, an invisible person around the corner. Fair enough. Just will stand next to him. There's more invisible people who are coming in here. Nice attack of opportunity. Oh, wow. Just absolutely destroyed. Also, I did like whoever said, "Is this a mock fight?" That's very funny. Alright. Where are these enemies? Oh, they're coming in like that. Fair enough. Charge. That's fine. Okay. Not overly worried about any of this. Shoot. Very good. I was going to use weird, but actually I think we've already killed nearly all the enemies, so yeah, this was much easier than we thought it would be.
Mind over muscle.
Attack. Cool. Start killing. And kill. Oh, there's more? Who are you? Some kind of cultist somewhere? Wait. I don't know where he went. I'm just gonna keep passing until we find it. Alright, it's over there. Alright, shoot it. You can't quite charge it, but you can get over there. Right? Okay. Attack.
Should have listened to reason.
Run over here.
Do it.
You can't charge anymore.
Bring down the divine wrath.
And then shoot. Very dead. We are now in heavy encumbrance again due to picking up quite so much trash. All right, what weighs a lot in our stuff here? Full plate. Full plate. Chain shirts +1. How much does each sell for here? So 600. So 600, but it weighs 50. That is 25. That's about the same amount. 45 sells for 300. Yeah, tower shields are awful. We'll drop them. You sell for a lot for your weight. Is there like a weight per... Nah, there's not a price per weight thing that some games put in there. That's really useful when they do that. Severed demon heads. Darren. Yeah, I think that's Darren. Oh wait, didn't we solve that? Oh no. He's gone back to his old chopping off head ways. I'm gonna get rid of these. There we go. That's fine. So we now have a way back into... I'm assuming this is the main hall. Main hall? Yeah, so I can now place 4 in here. Potentially unlock that, but we don't need 4. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, and then we need all of these lines done as well. Oh, right, yeah. So if I put 1 in here, apply. Does that allow us to then put 1 in here as well and to get this to go all the way along? No. Okay, so I'll take that back. So this might be our final puzzle, because we need to get all the other ones to get this one to trigger. Okay, I see. Because we would need to get all of these to then go all the way down there. Okay. So I actually think we get through that one later as well. Okay. Back this way. Why would I pick up the loot that I literally just dropped on the ground? Great question. You'll have to ask my brain for that one. I've got loot on the brain permanently. Are these things that I can step on? Yeah. Do they do anything when I step on them? No. Alright, so I can power this up here. What's this say? The quantity reflects the disguise numbers. Okay. Oh, but I also need this. Okay, never mind. I need another one to get the magic to actually make to power this puzzle. Okay, let's go this way. Wait for everybody to get into position. Right. Quick save. Move forward.
I will protect you
Hello.
with my life.
So, apply. Run in. Attack. I more just wanted to see what we were dealing with here than anything else. Might get attacked from the side up these stairs, as I was saying. There's Lilitu priestesses. There was a rogue here. Oh, it's below us, I think. Yeah, it's there. Okay. Charge.
Can't you just die already?
Nice crit that then triggered an attack of opportunity. Full array misses. Charge. Good damage. Weird. Okay. Didn't quite get everything. Oh, I guess the mummies are immune, so that would explain why I didn't get them. Oh, he was shooting at that one. What happens? There's a Rift of Ruin, I think. Okay. That I don't think actually hit us.
We won't falter.
Okay. Ah, it's because there's a Sphinx down there. Attack.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
This is fine. Charge. You got any AoEs? You do have shout. Let's move you up here. And just kind of shout in that general direction. Got a ton of stuns. You did have to hear the screech, but that's okay. Move forward. Shoot. You're going to move all the way up so we get additional bonuses to hit. And then you're going to shoot the Sphinx. Cool. Another Rift of Ruin, which we save again. This is fine. Turn this back on. I don't know why we didn't have our buff on there, but that's fine. Stab. Okay. Attack.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you.
Shout. Cool. Shadow Demon's going for attacks. Kill. Nice. Get an extra attack. Shoot.
Strike count. Did you see that?
That's absolutely fine. Get in
We
here.
can do it.
Then attack.
Distract them from me.
Then attack.
Be gone, fiend.
Ooh, he went flying. Attack.
You're irrelevant.
Shoot.
Out of my sight.
And shoot.
Crossed the wrong mongrel.
Nice. Move back here. Just to avoid the rifts for just now, which I assume will disappear once it realizes we're out of combat.
This is my kind
There
of
we
work.
go. Nice. Grab them. Grab that loot. Grab that loot. Now I know that if we put something in here and then click, that should activate this puzzle. Oh, that doesn't activate this puzzle, but maybe if I put something in here as well, then I click this one, it'll activate the doesn't do anything. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I think I got what I need to do here. Okay, this is fine.
Onwards.
So once I solve that puzzle, it will then give this thing power, so then I can press that button. Okay. Okay, I think we're still in the exploring stage of this dungeon then. As in not the solving, but the working out exactly where we need everything to be. We're just on medium. We will need to drop more loot in a second. We can always grab it when we leave. That's the thing I need to remember. We can always just grab the loot later. And then teleport to Dresden. So that won't be a problem. Okay, so that's...
Something over there.
Yeah, so that's the room with the wave of exhaustion.
Let us be off.
Okay. I could chuck in somebody who is immune to fatigue. And then just run out. That sounds like a not bad option. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. So we'll come back here. Quick save. So, by somebody, I mean Darren, because you're immune to fatigue. Let me once again select just Darren and not the entire squad. Darren, one, your job's to loot. Second, your job is to get in here and just, like, exist. Cool. Everyone else is going to delay their turn. Actually, everyone else is just going to pass the first turn. Darren is going to use it to get way out of there. Everyone else is going to chill. You know, I could have done these, actually. Darren, get back into formation. And now we wait. And they have to run out to us. Yeah. And now we just wait. When enemies appear, we shoot them. Saves us walking into that fatigue area. Yeah. I don't see why we would do anything else. This is fine. I'm happy to wait. They're using caustic eruption all the way over there, apparently. That definitely seems like something we need to be aware of. Wait, no. We aggroed the enemy. Where are they? I guess maybe you can't aggro them out of that room. Did they just despawn? Got it.
Let's have some fun.
Chill. I guess it really doesn't want you doing this fight outside of the hell room. Darren, you want to solo a fight? I think he can, because they're all undead. I mean, there's no reason why he can't just win the fight. Now that I think about it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. His AC is pretty high. Okay. I think I'm happy to wait. They have to roll 20s to hit him. And he's going to hurt them by healing. This is fine. They're all grouped. This is fine. That's some good damage. Now we chill. And we continue letting Darren solo the fight. This is the correct decision. Yep. Hasn't yet been hit. Now that does seem like we're being a bit lucky on the haven't been hit at all front, but no, that's okay. Chill. And then heal mass. Go further in. You got the bloodlust in your eyes. You can see that there's only one left. Shoot it.
I will see to your demise.
Alright, chill. Keep waiting. Yep, I'm still immune. So shoot it.
Precision! And... Oh, skip the pleasantries.
I knew we were going to suffer from heavy encumbrance there. I took that. I knew what was going to happen. Full plate we'll get rid of. We're back in Meacham. That's all I needed to see.
Missed me already.
Darren, you can now like wander around this place, right? Grab the loot.
Let's get to the exciting.
What's this one say? I'm the planes of evil that give birth to demons, devils, and daemons. Oh yes, I forgot that demons and daemons are different. That is something that I remember every now and again. It annoys me, and then I'm like, all right, cool. We need the full squad here, huh? Yeah. So I put something in both of them that activates the door. Okay. So at least now I'm not doing it while in the middle of a fight. Let's have a look. So that goes... You know, Darren, come back just in case, you know, worried here. So that's there. Yeah, this is fine. So I kind of want to go on the next cycle. I want that to shoot this way and then we go. Everyone out here? No problem. Position ourselves against these statues. Loot. And loot. And then we're going to put one of those in here. We're going to put one of those in here. They have activated.
I will lend you my aid.
We're ready to fight.
Did we step on their toes as well?
Okay, so, that one. That one. Attack. Didn't do anything. Okay. Charge. Good damage. Chill. Extra attack. Shoot.
You won't survive me.
Shoot him. This seems like this would be a lot more difficult if you weren't immune to literally everything the enemies threw at you. I still can't actually hit them. Apparently.
Mind over muscle.
Yeah, shoot.
Endure this.
I'll make short work of this.
This is fine. Then now I can walk through the middle. I don't know why I couldn't walk there in turn-based mode, but whatever. So that activated them, which then allows us to walk past. Now we can walk down here to wherever here is to get another one of these. I am all cardinal directions on the spherical planet, the symbol of deceptive freedom.
Can't hide from me.
Alright, let's loot it.
This is my kind of work.
Okay, cool. Oh, anything in here? Uh-huh. That one looked just a little bit too high quality to not be loot. There we go.
March on.
So now I can take back these two. So this entire thing was to get those, to get those stones. I think we're near the end of the puzzle. So now I have 6 stones, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Onwards.
It should be enough for the door. Are you not spinning anymore? You are not spinning anymore. Oh, that's nice. At least they don't make you do the puzzle twice. Yeah. Wonder what to say. I guess putting them in was all that we needed to do to disable them. Yeah, okay. Don't hit that stranger. There's no reason to kill the
Let us
strangers.
be off.
Right, now we ignore all of this and we go in here. And we start plugging in the things. So we do 4 here. We got Aeon effects? Okay. But that, I think, now means we can use this to power other things. So if I place something in here... and then in here, I can maybe power this puzzle.
Follow me.
So now if I go and press this, it will power a puzzle. I say with no real optimism. Yeah? That works. So now we've powered this puzzle. Yeah, now we can solve it. Okay, cool. I'm actually getting... these puzzles actually seem really good compared to some of the other ones that we've had. Which I'm happy with. The quantity is no more than 3 in a straight. Okay. So... like, what happens if I do this? Yeah, so that's wrong. That's wrong. Alright, yeah, so I can turn them over. Yeah, so that's fine. Wait, no, that's wrong.
March on.
Okay, quantity is no more than 3. Is that in a straight line? It must be... No, okay. So it must be like no more than 3 in a straight, not like in a line. Yeah, so this would be green. Yeah, and then this can be green. This can be literally anything. That can be red. Green. Green. Red. Green. It doesn't matter. Is there... do I press this for, like... is this check solution? No? What have I done wrong? So you got 3 there. You got 3 there. Yeah, 3, 3... So this must be the wrong way of solving this puzzle. So it must mean you can't have more than 3 in a in a line. So that's fine. This can be red. This has to be green then. This has to be red. That's the puzzle solved? Wait, no. So that line's correct. This line is wrong. So this has to be red. This line is right. So that line's correct. This line is correct. This line is correct. This line is wrong. The only one I can change is here. No, okay, so this has to be that. That's obviously not okay. Yeah, so there can be no more than 3 in a straight. Are there any other like puzzle helps or puzzle aids here? No. Okay. We can see the ones we can change. So this has to be the answer. If you can't have a repeating one, the first row has to be this, right? It has to be red and red, right? That's the only answer. And which then makes this one wrong. I don't understand. The quantity is no more than 3 in a straight. Maybe I just had it wrong the first time. That's the other option. Okay, so right there, in this current layout, there is no more than 3 in a straight. You know what? Hot take. Maybe they call straights, like maybe they include curves in a straight. I mean, I know that sounds stupid. It also wouldn't solve our issue because this would have to be green. And this would have to be green. So I was thinking that bit in the middle there. Okay, so quantity can be no more than 3 green. Maybe there's just a specific solution, and therefore we have it wrong. Am I missing something? I must be missing something. Okay. Nope. Thought I'd just try changing them. Maybe what it means is there has to be 3 in a straight. The quantity has to be 3 in a straight. Yeah. Maybe that's what I mean. No, that also doesn't work. Unless, like, their quantity has to be 3 unless it can't be 3. No, okay, so that was wrong. I kind of knew that one was wrong already. What if we just assume that, like, everything's red? Now, this is obviously wrong. Okay. The quantity is no more than 3 in a straight. Well, you say, this one, correct. This one is also correct. This one, incorrect. So we can change that to green, right? We can then say, okay, this one would also need to be green.
Onward.
So this is now correct. This line. Green. And then, well, this would also have to be green. Was this my issue all along? Was that this also has to be green? Yes, yes it was. Because this would also have to be green. Ah, yes. This was our problem line before. Because if it's red, it's correct that way. If it's green, it's correct the other. Okay, yeah. I see. Maybe we want it to be... Maybe we want it to be correct. Maybe you make it correct for red or correct for green. You can't make it correct for both. Maybe that's the answer. No, because then you could just change it all to one color, and then it doesn't work. Well, no, because that's fine. Never mind, this is fine. Yeah, it says 3. This is... Let's just go for... Let's do what it says again, straight. So, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This one we need to change to green. That's fine, right? Going this way? Fine. 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 Am I missing something? Maybe this goes into somewhere else and I need something else to be activated before the puzzle will even solve? No? Alright, well, I'm going to have to look this one up. Okay, so I've looked it up a little bit. It looks like diagonals count. That's the bit I'm missing. Now, is a diagonal a straight? I wouldn't think that a diagonal was a straight, but, you know, there you have it. Diagonals count.
I tire of waiting.
That's where the last bit of the puzzle was. Okay, there we go.
We won't fall here.
I really didn't mean to run in alone, but that's fine. Yeah, that was alright. Yeah. It was when, like, literally all I needed to find out that was the solution is I looked it up, like, just typed that exact phrase into Google, and it said, it called the puzzle tic-tac-toe, and I was like, ah, I understand. I understand completely. If you follow those rules, then yes, that is a straight, and therefore, yes, that would fail it. But to me, I was like, I don't get it. Anyway, shoot it. The first one we haven't got in here, which is, is kind of fine in a puzzle area. Do we have no way through this door? Yeah, it won't let us through the door unless we charge. That's kind of weird. Guess that's why our shadow demon flew off into the distance. Yeah, like, look, I can't walk through the door unless I charge. That's so weird. You know what? Kingmaker had these issues with doorways, didn't it? How do you think you're getting there? Yeah, Kingmaker had these issues with doorways. It wasn't in the same way. The issue that Kingmaker had was that you couldn't... can you even shoot them? You can. Perfect. Right. Yeah, the issue that Kingmaker had was that you couldn't heal through doorways, I think. I think that healing spells were blocked by doorways, which was kind of funny. You think so?
Remove this obstacle.
I don't think that's the way that you're reaching now. The game also went, nah, I'll just end your turn. Okay, I'm sure we can walk through it in non-turn-based mode. Get him.
Me, all right?
Okay. Hit him. That's fine. Shoot him.
I will cease your delusion.
Everybody want to make it in here? Yeah, non-turn-based mode, no issue. I'm in heavy encumbrance again because I cannot stop myself from picking up loot. Right. Don't. I had to cancel what I was doing there. I was about to drop the mithril chain shirts. Am I crazy? Those are the only thing that's actually worth money.
Where else would I be?
Like severe amounts of money.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Right, disable that.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Okay. Now we can pick this one. Cool. Oh, what's the thing on the wall say? I am the Marilith that brings evil with every hand. Alright. I can now grab the stones back, I think. Yeah, I no longer need all the stones to be involved in the puzzle. And I don't think I need any of them to be involved in the puzzle. And now just have extra stones. So now I go this way. And I place the stones over here. Then one in here. You know, I should probably just have one person running around. Yeah, then a stone in here. So this must be our check answer section. Then a stone in here.
Follow me.
Okay, now I need to run through this way. Press that. That'll then activate the puzzle. Okay. There we go. And now this is fine. So what does that say? The quantity reflects disguised numbers. Quantity reflects disguised numbers. Okay. So, what happens if I press this? So that can turn here or here. So I have to make them all add up to the same thing. I think I have to make all the arrows add up to the same thing. So you can go this way or this way. I think, yeah, I think this is make the arrows add up. So, this has to, I need to do algebra. That's what I need to do. Okay. So basically what it's saying is that this, all the lines have to add up when you point these arrows, right? So it's saying, yeah, okay. So this can really only go two directions. Got it. So what it's saying is that this line has to equal this line, which has to equal this line, or whatever, but coming from here. So it would say like these two would equal that one, which would equal that one, which would then equal this one. So you need to work out the different equations, I think. How would we work this out? Well, we would have to work it out from first principles. Is there any line that cannot be avoided? So this one will always have one of these numbers in it, right? So we'll always have one of these symbols in it. Because if it's straightforward, it'll have that number. If it's right, it'll have that one. And if it's up, it'll have that one. Okay? That being the case, if this one can face here, which would mean everything has to add to like that, whatever that number is, or it means that this row is the same as that row, right? One of those two statements has to be true, I think. Or this row equals 0 and that's also 0. I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. So do we think that this row equals that row? Probably not. Which would mean we want to turn that there, that there, that there, that there. Yeah, that there. Right, now we need to think about it. So basically we're saying like that these are all going to be equal and then everything else is going to add up to that. Wait, can anything be double that? Like, sorry, does anything have to be double that? No, so this could be, but it doesn't have to be. So assuming it doesn't have to be, we'll move it off there. This one, we have to assume... Yeah, we have to assume that this one, it's not going to be that plus something else. So we're going to turn it this way. So we're assuming those two add to that, right? Same here. We'll assume that those two add to that. Same here. Same here. Wait, that has to go far right. Then that has to go facing the left. Alright, now I've made my assumptions. How many of them are true? 0. Wait, no. This one, there's still a chance. No. Okay, so that was not the correct solution to the puzzle. So my logic was if you assume that every other combination of numbers added up to that number, right? Then we could point the arrows at that number. And then all you had to do was point the arrows away from that number plus something else, right? However, that does not appear to be the solution. The quantity reflects disguised numbers. Quantity reflects disguised numbers. I'm just trying to say it out loud in case I get, like, you know, something from it. The quantity of what reflects disguised numbers? The quantity of lines? The quantity of one symbol in a line. Does this mean something else? Maybe you just assign the line's values. So you say like this has 2 and then okay, and then you could do it like that. Nope, that doesn't work. I was trying to see if we could do like a duplicate thing. So you could say like, it has to have that many duplicates in it. No. So I guess what you would have to do to solve this is you'd have to give every single combination an algebraic value and then solve. It like solve them down until you can find what value is equal to what. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. So you'd have to say like this is... Let me just return these back and hopefully we solve it by accident while doing so. Right. So you'd say like this is 2a plus b. This is 3a. This is 2A plus C. This is 1A plus D plus E. Is that right? And then you'd have to say like, well, this one here is obviously just 1A, right? So you could say like that is equal to that, plus these two. You could try and work out what the values are from there, because you know that one has to be the correct. You know that one like set of these all have to equal to. You know that one combination of all of these has to equal to 0, if you were to like take them away from each other. I'm gonna look it up. Right. Arrows. The hint to this puzzle is the quantity reflects disguised numbers. Essentially, each symbol represents a number. This number is the number of times the symbol appears in the accessible up to that point dungeon as a decoration. Are you kidding me? You can go around and search for these symbols and then... okay. You can go around and search for these symbols. And then each symbol having a number of arrows corresponding to the number symbol. Okay, what does it say? The numbers that correspond to each symbol are. Okay. What? Right. You go around, search for these symbols, and then for each symbol, have the number of arrows corresponding to the number the symbol represents pointing to it. I understand. So, this symbol has appeared once, this symbol has appeared once, this symbol has appeared 3 times, this symbol has appeared 2 times, and this symbol has appeared 4 times. So 4 arrows have to point there, 1 has to point to all of them plus that one, and plus that one, and then 2 have to point to this one. Okay, so, like, my first thought is, this has to be the start, right? I'm assuming that we're looking at it from the same direction, but I think we are. Yeah. So 2 have to point there. That now means there's 1. Okay. This one cannot point at the center. So I'm going to point it up for just now, right? This one can't point this way because it would make the numbers too high. So I'm going to point it. I'm going to point it. Actually, you know what? Any ones that I can point to the side, I'm going to point to the side. Yeah, like if I can point it to nothing, then I will point it to nothing to start with. There we go. Just because I think that makes it easier. Because then I'm just I'm adding in these ones. So I'm going to point here. That is 1. It has the value of 1. I'm then going to point this up. 1 with a value of 1. So both of these are 1 with a value of 1. Like one arrow pointing at it, value of 1. This is going straight down. It hits 1, 4, and 3. Nothing else can therefore go into that center tile. So that works because neither of those are pointing there, and this one currently is not pointing there either. It's pointing here, which is again a 1 at the value of 1. These being pointed to the center work, because that means that's 2. This is 4 with a value of 2 currently. What else needs to point here? Well, what needs to point here to make this 4? This one could point there to make it 4. No, so that makes it 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this needs to point up to make that. So that's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That needs to be a value of 3. It's got a value of 1, 2. So this would need to point downwards for that to be 3. Okay. Well, that's not going to work, because if that points downwards, then this one has now got a value of 2. Yes. So how about if I do this? So they've got 1. That's got 2. 3. You no longer need to point at it. What if you pointed this way? So that is 1, 2. So that's 1, How many are pointing at this one? Oh, that's also pointing at this. So I'm going to point you down here. So it's 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing's pointing here. That's a problem. How about you point there? No, because that means that that one is now equal to too high a number. Okay. So you need to point here. Yep, so that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1. 1, 2. Okay, so that's wrong. Okay, I'm gonna look at the solution. I'm getting too confused. Right. Yeah, so... oh, it's got a picture. So the correct solution is... so this needs to be up. The picture might be in the lowest resolution I've ever seen. Okay, it's got a high resolution version. There we go. So that goes here. That goes up. That goes up. That goes up. This, okay, I was saying like I thought these puzzles were better. I still think that might be the case. But this puzzle is not. Okay. We solved it. Right, so now I press this. This now makes an invisible chest appear. I bet that chest contains some more blue stones. No, it contains a sickle? Cruel living bane sickle? What? Oh, this was optional? Okay. Take it? Wait, okay, maybe. Yeah, okay, I think I know what we needed to do. Take that.
Let us be all.
This is fine. Then on this direction, we need to place a stone here. Then if I press that, it should open that door because we have all the lines into that door activated. Is that correct? Time to find out. There we go. It opens up. And now it's opened up. What we want to do is we want to go back and pick up all of the stones that we previously had. Just in case we need them for the next section. This is a very weird area that is nothing like the rest of the game. I kind of like it because Nenio's whole thing is like being inquisitive, you know, knowledge, curiosity. So like having puzzles as her main thing makes sense. Oh, we can't pick up any of the rest of them? Okay, that's fine. But still, it's very odd. Oh, this isn't a new area. This is just like the top area. Okay. There's a lot of symbols. Oh, it's one of these? The spinning puzzles? Okay, I see. We don't have enough bits for that spinning puzzle. We're gonna leave it. Wait, oh, there's other areas to the side.
Follow me.
So there's other ways down here. This place is massive, so there are more puzzles on each side here, I assume. Yeah. Okay, well, what I think we're going to do is we're going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching. Brain has completely been fried, so I think it's time to end the episode, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.